So as most of you guys already know, the 5th anniversary has already taken place like 4 to 5 months ago. I just never really talked about it due to my burnout during that time, plus with the content that's been going on in the global side of Langrisser. I did try my best to avoid any kind of spoilers, however I did only see one of the characters, even the new SP character as well. But luckily for me, I don't really know what the kits look like yet, so that's what we're gonna check out. Just like how it's always been with these type of videos, whenever we're going over something that Xian got, just cause I like doing my first reaction with these type of stuff. So the character in this 5th anniversary is a character named Apotheosis. Is that how you pronounce it? Apotheosis? So yeah, it looks like he's gonna be the anniversary character, so you can expect his banner to work the same way like Wetham and Awakener. And I've heard some mixed opinion on him. Few were saying that he's OP, quote unquote. Some said that he was really insane, and some were just saying that he's just a good character. But I'll be the judge of that. So let's see. He's a physical attacker that's part of the Dark, Healers, and Mythical faction. His talent ignores class restriction and increases his attack. At the end of his turn, he heals 20% of his HP and increases his attack by 10% to one random stat. Oh, I'm pretty sure that means just like he adds 10% of his attack to whatever random stat on him. So like it can go to his defense or magic defense. After he deals damage, he has a 100% chance to inflict Nightmare or Elect on them. Nightmare makes them lose control, so in other words, we can say that it stuns them unless it's something entirely unique. In regular content, their enemy would deal 30% less damage. Elect turns them into a demon class for 1 turn. Okay, looks like we got some RNG element going on here. Whether if it stuns or makes them do something random is something that I'll have to look into eventually when it comes to global. Or it could be like it makes them move on their own or something like that. His 1C is a command that affects enemies within 3 blocks that has a 30% chance to gain Chosen Choice at the end of their turn. I don't know what that means, but it could be referring to his talent, I would say. His 2C is an AoE that attacks within 2 blocks around him. It deals more damage to demon and holy units and reduces their defense for 2 turns. Not all too terrible, but what is terrible is that range. The 3C is a transformation, so he can give himself something called Chaos. The weakening effect applied by the talent can't be dispelled. When entering battle, damage dealt increases and his damage taken is reduced. When Darkness Shock is cast, that's his AoE. Nightmare is applied to all enemies that are a demon, and he can also revive. When he does so, his transformation loses its effect and heals 30% of his HP. After the skill is used, it changes into Abyssal Cut that can reach 3 blocks and attacks again. His chaos effect can't be immunized, dispelled, and does not lose turn duration. So this is also an act again as well. Wow, so even healers can't save you then from his gimmick maybe? If that's the case, then I would assume 100% would sound right, even with RNG in play. I'm checking out some of his other skill set, and they're kinda lame. I see Air Slash and Accelerated Aid, but that's just it. His unique AoE is quite strong, but the range is hard to depend on. So that's what his Act Again is for. So you're really gonna rely on that Act Again skill for him to approach anything. Also, he only has Flyer and Demon as his main class type. So yeah, that's an issue, especially with Flyers having nothing to give themselves any increased AoE range. At least his mobility is like really good. 3C is how you're gonna be approaching with them. One thing that I'm already seeing that will really suck, Apotheosis will have to work to attack to change his opponent to demon, then again to give them nightmare effect. His 3C can do that just by activating it, but you are really encouraged to use it as an approach option and to get that revive effect right when you can. It will only work on characters like Neo Zerida and Epsilon since most people will have them in demon form. I can confidently say that you'll rarely ever get this whole gimmick to work with actual effort unless in a long-term fight. It doesn't even mention it can be immunized as well. So much for being an anniversary character, huh? He's pretty much a better version of Wetham at this point. Oh my god, how did I manage to avoid spoilers up to this point? You guys know the cat from Endless Voyage, right? Well, it looks like that this little guy is gonna be a playable character. Heck yeah! Now this is an anniversary character, right here. Okay, so he's part of the Glowing, Meteor, and Euless faction. Oh, his stats. Oh my goodness. This is like free character material right here. His talent, when there's allies within 3 blocks, his attack increases. At the end of the action, you can choose to apply route marker to the target location. It makes it so that the terrain has all allied units within 2 blocks of the command range regain 15% of their HP at the end of their turn, and non-flying ally has a chance to avoid movement restrictions by 1 when they pass through the surrounding 2 blocks of their terrain for 1 turn. This thing also has a 1 turn cooldown. So this guy gets a massive attack boost with a special terrain that gets recycled easily. So far it's looking alright, the only glaring issue is that he wants to stay close to his teammates, but let's see what his other skills look like. One of his unique skills seems like a command where if you are within range of an ally route marker, then you get a random buff. Sounds nice. His other one is an active skill that increases attack and int to all allies within range for 4 turns. Ooh. While the caster is within command range of an ally route marker, you inflict, when in water, troop movement is considered in water, for allies moving within range for 4 turns. Hey, that's not bad. An attack and int buff for 4 turns, and being able to easily move in water. Just sucks that you do want to always be near his special terrain to make all that happen. Finally, with this Thxs, its passive increases defense when in water. It's a single target that steals 2 buffs before battle. After battle, he can teleport to any tile around the route marker. When killing an enemy, the cooldown is reduced by 2. Yup, this is definitely free character material right here. His whole thing revolves around his special terrain for some added benefits even to his teammates as well. Problem is, he will want to be very close to it, which isn't an issue since he can spam it very often. At least not too much of an issue. I think the most interesting thing that he has is the active skill, giving an attack and int boost for 4 turns, even giving his teammate water movement, as long as they're near it of course. So overall, Captain Jack, which is the cat's name, seems like a pretty solid character. Like not too bad, not too good, just an alright character. So the next thing coming is finally an SP character. Ooh, we've been waiting so long for this. And that is SP Bernhardt. The one character that I did not expect to get an SP form. Dude, look at him. He looks so young yet so old. His talent lets him ignore skill cost, a classic. What, does SP Almeida have that too? Please don't tell me that she does. I only knew about it because it was something that I couldn't avoid no matter how much I tried. Literally everyone was talking about it. So yeah, we'll get into her eventually in the future. Anyways, he ignores skill costs, and when entering battle, his damage and defense increases. So it looks like that he has his original talent that reduces attack and defense within 2 blocks, with an addition of having the enemy of losing 1 buff at the end of their turn. And don't forget about his exclusive that extends his talent range by 1, so he'll actually have a 3 block radius on it. Though I would say for PvP, you definitely want to give him an armor that increases his survivability. One of his new skill, when activating it, he can choose temporarily to replace it with any uncarried skills that are sword stance, looks like shield bash, and maybe his guard skill or like another new skill, which all lasts for 2 turns. You get the split effect that lasts for 3 turns and cannot be dispelled. He can act again by moving 3 blocks and buff duration does not go down. Imagine using it and you get like sword stance, plus with the passive letting him do massive fixed damage too. Right, his faction buff gives him more mobility as well. So yeah, they really improved his mobility. This guy is literally gonna be more of a walking tank. His other new skill is a single target that attacks from 2 blocks with soldiers. Before battle, he applies heal block for 2 turns. After battle, he applies random submission that has them take fixed damage for 20% of their HP and then is removed. But if there are other allies within 2 blocks, then it gets applied to one of them that cannot be dispelled. So what happens if you're like immune to it? Will the debuff just disappear? I would guess so. Yeah, he simply just gets a bit more damage with more physical defensive capability, with more options to being more offensive. Wait, I just realized something. He's a dragon unit. Bro, what? That is so unexpected. Like, I heard we were getting more dragon units, but on Bernhardt, it just feels so random. So that means no class weakness against Leon. Not gonna lie, Bernhardt without his passive skill is gonna be so weird, cause that's like part of his main source of damage. In my opinion, I feel like Bernhardt will fit so well into this type of meta that we have. Cause I feel like Bernhardt was never bad, he was just way too slow, with like not a lot of options. So yeah, he is definitely going to be a lot more flexible with this new SP form. Alright, so let's take a look at the exclusive equipments here. So this helmet is for Lightbringer, more HP, and for every stack of Mirror Light, her damage increases. At the end of action, if she has 5 stacks of Mirror Light, she restores health to an ally with the lowest health Oh wait, hold up, this is already a must-have. Kinda would prefer if she could stack more damage reduction, but does she really need it though? I feel like she's already defensive enough. And considering how fast that she can easily stack her talent buff, those heals will be super beneficial. Oh whoa, guys, check this out. An armor for Adankelmo. That is really surprising. You would think that they'd make it a helmet because you can equip stuff like Tenyos and a lot of the situational helmet. The more HP, allies get a attack and int buff when they end their turn on her gate. Then all enemies whose movement isn't flying pass through within 2 blocks of it, consume 1 additional mobility? What? They definitely should have made this a helmet, cause that is so good. Like you want this on her. Rush team will become so much more efficient at the job, even affecting Adankelmo as well, if there's no one else to help buff her up. Most likely she will benefit from it though, even if most characters that we have can already buff their own attack and int from just by using their act again skill. Just get it for Adankelmo, she'll really want that. Even getting blocked from that will be quite annoying and really unexpected. I feel like 2 blocks seems a lot, like I feel like you should really only get blocked from it for trying to move past through it. Alright, so let's see if any of the casting skills are good, cause we're already seeing some really good stuff right now. First up is Rozalia. When in range of her sword terrain, after using a skill to deal damage, the cooldown is randomly reduced by 1 to 3 turns. A real convenient thing to have. It is definitely worth it if you use it in PvE like myself, especially against those bosses. Second is Ledin. The damage of his 3C increases. When there is 2 or more allies nearby, his 3C range increases. Another one that's just convenient to have, I guess. I mean, it's definitely not bad. Archon is the third one. They actually gave him 10% attack, which is scary good. After killing an enemy with Moontide, which sounds like his 3C, all skill cooldown are reduced by 1. Hey, he usually kills with it most of the time from what I've seen. Plus, getting his act again back faster will be a great advantage to him. He's always living after using his 3C anyway, so he can get away right after immediately. Last one is for Emerick. Looks like more attack and defense are increased and +1 turn duration for his 3C buffs. Well, okay, so most of these are real convenient things to have. 2 of these are more incredible to have since they can have a lot more impact. Just like last year, there will be 2 new soldiers each every couple of months. We got a cavalry soldier that boosts attack by 30%. When they are at 80% or more HP, they reduce attack and defense of the enemy soldier within 2 blocks. That is something new, but I can hardly see this get used unless you're like really trying to sustain. This next one is what I thought was Lancer because of its name, Contract Golem, but this thing is a demon class. When their HP is above 80%, attack defense magic defense increases and range attack received is reduced. I guess they're alright, but compared to some of the other soldiers, their extra bonuses can be considered much lower. Some of the interesting banners that I'm seeing are both Wetham and Awakener. Don't forget about Apotheosis as well. Their banners work the same where it's really difficult. There is a banner with Hilda and Lugner, then a Destiny banner with Lightbringer. There's also going to be a custom banner that goes up to Sagani and Amadeus. Just when I thought I could finally stop saying his name, he still finds his way back here, huh? There will also be an equipment banner as well. Stuff like this I recommend avoiding unless you have plenty to go around. But remember, we still want to save as much as we can. As you can expect, we got quite a lot of content that we can look forward to. There's a 14-day login event, more story chapters, there will be a new background with some new buildings, more than likely just for decoration, an anniversary farmable event where you can farm materials to exchange for rewards, and by looking at the rewards you can get, you are able to get Captain Jack for free, and immediately to 6 stars, if you farm it all the way through. Even the background that I mentioned earlier. A hero bag that should go up to Roland and Pressia. It does cost money though. Both Roland and Pressia are very important for bonds for the future character that we're getting. There will also be a weapon bag as well. An event where you have to spend a ton of crystals to get this Summon Liana skin. As well as the energy stages all available with casting and get a fate and the increased output rate for the floating city. I saved the last interesting few for last. One of them actually allows us to upgrade the casting level up to 10. This is some major stat check shenanigans. I'm still burning through my burgers with these stuff, and they're all mostly gone. But in order to actually upgrade them higher than level 5, you need a new type of casting material that seems to drop rarely or on daily bonuses. I'll definitely do quite the digging once it does come very soon. Then finally, the last piece of content I want to show you guys is the new Dimensional Expedition. I have taken a look ahead of time, but in this video, I'll be going over it briefly. Then once we eventually get this very soon for global, I'll share everything that I know to you guys. So here's the roadmap when you click on the event. Even though we do call it the new Dimensional Expedition, it isn't exactly. Most of it is determined on your own progress. The only thing that everyone will be working on is the bar above when you click on this skeleton guy's face. The number is a lot, but this is server based. So for example, you need to grab a total amount of supplies, occupy a total amount of strongholds. In the top right, there is going to be a timer, and this shows you how much time that you have left before you go on to the next challenge. Once again, this thing is the only group project that you'll be working on in this event within your server. Back to the world map, the strongholds with the orange marker has you station your characters to get materials similar with the Corona XP stuff. The blue marker pops up when you clear that stronghold. It's where you'll be challenging some normal stuff, and once it's done, you can get rewards when it's clear. The chest to the bottom right is something that you get when clearing all the levels in that stronghold, and you will encounter a regular enemy like normal DE, but the red color ones you can actually sweep as long as you meet the requirements. Some special stages, you will have to manually play them. Maps that has numbers out of something, like this one, 5 out of 6, just means that you cleared 5 out of 6 stages in that stronghold. The green marker shows you what materials that you can grab for something that I'll show you later. The purple marker are like challenge stages. In the middle left, these are missions. You may notice this key item, that's what you'll be using for the purple marker strongholds to actually challenge it. I believe it's for like certain ones though. If we check out the HUD, clicking on the bag shows you what battle bonuses that you have, even some more stuff like supplies. You can look at your characters, changing stuff on them, same way with the casting material stages. The box shows that you can use supplies on characters if needed, and you will notice map events. You get 3 per day, so make sure that you always do them. Then on the far bottom right corner, you get sent to what's basically like the floating city. There are 8 buildings, 2 of them are different while 6 of them are the same. If we check out this tent, you can upgrade with materials and such. Inside this tent, and oh boy, this is crazy looking, but I'll try to make it simple for you guys. The grid that shows like active/support skills gives a buff across a couple of factions. The faction icon gives buffs to that specific faction. The characters, it makes them better, like having reduced cooldown and such. Then the attacking skills, for those specific ones, it improves on them. Unfortunately, there is no time characters buffs. I don't know why. The bottom left is what you use to upgrade these grids. And to get the items to upgrade, you will need to clear some stages. The building next to the tent are soldier training ground. You need class type tokens, and you get them by clearing some stages. Now these 6 buildings that look the same, inside it, you will see the sword in fragments. Each piece of these gives you certain types of buff, like more crit damage. You can't turn them all on though. Notice how there were 6 of these buildings. Each one of these determine how much that you can have on. You can also get combination buffs like increased range. I don't know if it tells you or if it's something that you have to figure out on your own. The building in the middle acts like a city hall. To upgrade it, you just need more rank points. So once the event is over, you get rewards based on it. Now these pink vial things are exchange materials for rewards that you can get in the floating city, in the building that you have to build. So yeah, we got one new building that's very important. Same thing with the purple and gold materials in the event world map. You'll find the shop in certain strongholds. The purple stuff you can get them by exchanging bond items, and I'm sure by clearing some stages. With the gold, you have to do it that way too. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this red marker, you don't have to worry about it. I feel like if I did, you guys might hate it even though it's not entirely that bad. Man, I said I would talk about it in brief, but I feel like I basically said everything about it. There were a few things that I didn't say, but I didn't think it was really necessary yet. There will be stuff that I will include in the global update video that I didn't mention here, but it's just only a few things though. Most of what I'll be saying are stuff that I already said here. And a fresh reminder, this isn't a new dimensional expedition. It isn't exactly. We'll still be having our normal, regular DE that we all love. Yay! At last, we can check out the skins. There's quite a bit that the CM players got. If we check out the Echo of Light, Apotheosis, and Captain Jack. More Gundam style. I don't mind it on the cap, but they should have made Apotheosis look more evil than he already looks. It looks cool, but it doesn't really excite me, you know? So there will be a free all meta skin that you can get by logging in during the anniversary with lots of other rewards. A Summer Liana skin where you spend a bunch of crystals. A Matthew skin if you farm the anniversary event. Around this time, Sion got the summer skins that has Angelina in it. Of course, we global players already got them. Then lastly, there's a Macho Lotta skin for a Lightbringer, her first legitimate skin without no need of paying money. So if you want this and Bernhardt's SP stone, to guarantee yourself, you need around 8,000 crystals. Yeah, that is a lot. To be honest, I feel like the stuff that we'll be getting is gonna be a bit more bigger compared to the 4th anniversary. Maybe just around the same amount of content. I definitely feel like it's a little bit more bigger. Nonetheless, I'm quite excited for it to come by. The new DE is gonna be exhausting as it always been, but apparently it's gonna be a lot more convenient once you do it. You definitely wanna do them so that you can get those materials right away, if you wanna start like upgrading and get stuff to make things more easier on yourself. SP Bernhardt is gonna be really amazing, especially those exclusive equipments. Oh man, they're so good. But feel free to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about the 5th anniversary that already happened in CN. I try my best to catch up, so just be patient with me. It's just that I like to take my time with it and put a lot of effort into it. With that being said, my throat is hurting from all of this. There was just a lot of content to look over. So yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.